Okay, welcome to Into the Channel, a podcast primarily about women's football. Before we hit the pitch, if you enjoy the show or love women's football as much as your boys do, subscribe already. Follow us YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to watch or listen. Comments, ratings, reviews, likes, thumbs up, all of them always appreciated. At ITC_pod on X, at Into the Channel pod on Threads. I am your host, Dino DeCespedes, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Grant Engel. What is up, man?
Buddy, I'm feeling great. We're cracking the beer just to even start the program.
Let's go.
The group stage of the UEFA Women's Champions League came to an incredible close. And not just in the group of life, which we'll get into, but just surprising results, invigorating results, reassuring results. And I feel like all of that is a good omen for the knockout stage.
Tremendously good omen. I think Group C, Group of Life, we'll get into it. We knew it was going to end cruelly for a couple teams. We were able to learn which two teams that was as Matchday 6 came to a close. But I don't know, man. I'm ready to get into it. Where do you want to get started?
Maybe we spoiled it a little bit, but let me just tell you something, Dino, is I like doing this show with you because you have a keen eye for trends. I know it's helped you in your day job career. I feel like you're able to get a good read on things early. In this case, you got a good read on some teams and some players. But this call, my good man, might be some of your finest work. You named Group C, the Champions League Group of Life, very early in the proceedings. And you've been proven correctly multiple times throughout the tournament, and then triply correct over the last half hour of Matchday 6. So I just don't think we can start anywhere else. You're a soothsayer, Dino. Let's start with the Group of Life, and we'll start wherever you wish.
I appreciate that. Group of Life it was. I want to kind of timestamp the qualification situation, so which was unbelievable. So coming into the day, PSG and Ajax held the top two spots in the group, and there was a ton of moving and shaking over the course of these 2 hours. So I put together a little bit of a running timeline. I'm using the actual game clock, okay? So nice. We can understand when things were changing. So to start, PSG and Ajax, they're in. 32nd minute, Roma scores. Now it's PSG and Roma that are in. 36th minute, 4 minutes later, Julia Gvin scores for Bayern. Now Bayern and PSG are in. 45th minute, Ajax scores. Still Bayern and PSG in control. 73rd minute, Chewinga scores. Now it's PSG and Ajax. 2 minutes later...
Oh boy.
Sydney Lohmann scores. Ajax is out. Bayern is in alongside PSG. 84th minute, Ajax scores. Now Ajax is back in. Bayern is in. And PSG is out. So they went from first to out. 88th minute, PSG equalizes. Ajax still in. Bayern out. PSG back in. 94th minute, Jovana Damjanovic puts the ball in the back of the net for Bayern. Bayern's back in. PSG is out. But the flag goes up. Goal's waved off. Just seconds before the final whistle. Bayern out. Again, PSG wins the group and Ajax runners up. Congrats to both of those squads. This was a fucking roller coaster.
Your head was spinning watching it. And it was just like, well, this can't keep happening, right? But then like after the second variation happens, I'm just like, okay, this might happen 6 more times. And I think it did happen 6 more times. It's just like, we've talked about this a little bit for more of our like football curious or football casual fans in the United States, where Dino and I are obviously, who only watch the World Cup and they watch it every 4 years. Thinking about the group stage of the World Cup and these machinations, that's where I think you start to scoop up more fans every 4 years, because people have to be looking around like, wait, so if Mexico scores and Colombia doesn't, but if they win 3-1, they're in, and it's just like, whoa, this is so unbelievably entertaining. It can be a little complex, but it's not too complex. You can pretty quickly be like, okay, if this and this happens, I need this to happen, whatever. But to see it in the Champions League with elite club squads is just, that's the benefit of being much more than just a World Cup fan here in the States.
Yeah, I mean, just wrapping your head around, all 4 of those teams at one point were in one of the top 2 spots during those 90 minutes. I mean, Really just incredible stuff. That's not something that you get really kind of anywhere else, even in this tournament. Like once we go to the knockout stage, it's really just a head-to-head. One team advances, one team doesn't. But the group stage is just a really special time, man. I wanted to get into the Ajax and Roma match. Lily Johannes, she just keeps getting better. She spent
Incredible.
large stretches of this match looking like Ajax's best player. She won player of the match, so we weren't the only ones who thought so. I wanted to kind of hone in on one play. You know, we like to talk about her on offense, on the ball, and just kind of like all the wizardry she's able to put together there. But in the 43rd minute, a corner comes in from Roma. Elisa Bartoli, who had Roma's first goal, she puts her header on the crossbar, almost making it 2-0, which would have made this match real interesting. Lily heads it away from goal, but right to Evelyn Viens. Viens winds up for a close-range strike. Johannes gets a key block on Viens' strike. The rebound makes it out to Elena Linari, who tries her hand at goal. Lily hard charges all the way out to block that one too. Just a rock-solid defensive sequence from the girl wonder. I mean, she just keeps getting better. It's like, it's pretty incredible to watch.
The instincts and the intelligence, I know we've talked about it before, but the instincts and the intelligence at 16 years old, just incredible. I don't even know really how to frame it. She gets the first close range block on Viens, and then to already have the presence of mind of block, where's the block going? Who's on the ball? I got to get there now because I don't have any other teammates there. I mean, we're talking just quick fire, rapid reactions in the most critical of moments, because you're right. You go down 2-0, full scary hours. I don't know if you can come back from that.
Yeah, and we're not going to get too much into this one, but Paris FC, they needed a result against Chelsea. And when they went down, I mean, it was pretty much a wrap. I mean, I think they're kind of like, all right, let's nobody get hurt out here. So yeah, 2-0 would have really flipped that game. And again, the group flipped another 7 or 8 times from there, like you mentioned. What else did you see in this matchup?
You know, I think staying on Johannes just for another moment, her versus Saki Kumagai. Obviously, the narratives are clearly there, like youth versus experience, size versus less size, frankly. You know, I mean, you think about these things. Kumagai is an all-time player. And to see that kind of chess match happening in the middle of the field, again, Kumagai is going to go down as one of the better players ever. And to be able to look across there and not blink, have full confidence in your game, full confidence in your ability to carry the ball down the field, make important touches in the final third, that road itself, I just have to do the big picture, zoom out one more time. Dan Johannes, amazing, incredible supporter of the program. Appreciate you, Dan. If you're Team USA, you have to get this player. You have to get this player. You have to. Like, she has to be the center mid for U.S. women's national team. You got to make it happen, guys. And I got to imagine Emma Hayes would kind of look at me and be like, no doubt, doofus. We're working on it. So, I mean, I just got to say, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah, I mean, perfect description of the chess match between her and Kumagai. And Kumagai's been really good in the group stage. I mean, She's definitely maybe on the back half of her career, we'll say that. But she's still been really effective, calling a lot of shots for Roma, getting a lot of action started. And that was a battle, seeing those two go at it in the center of the field. It was some real gladiator shit. So that was pretty cool. Less than 2 minutes later, after, Lily's epic sequence defensively, she got the offense going. What'd you see there?
She flips the game completely on its head. Like you said, for basically a second time, she kind of saves the game. I've heard English announcers use this term. When you get a block like that, or in that case, 2 blocks like that, about as good as a goal in that situation. Yeah. 2 minutes later, she gets an interception, maybe more of a steal, drives the ball, has to be damn near 40 yards up the pitch. Perfect pass over to Hoekstra, who has a really clean look, clean strike, and did exactly what she needed to do with it. I thought it was an excellent shot from Hoekstra. Obviously beats the keeper for the goal to equalize.
Big time finish from Tina Hoekstra. I mean, she's been good also, but not 100% clinical, but that was a no doubter. Like, she got a hold of that one, and that environment must have been wild. We do say goodbye to Roma. Salute to them. I thought they played great. They had a great Champions League group stage, Group C, Group of Life. Super gutsy performance led by their captain, Elisa Bartoli, who we mentioned. The assist on that one, who else but Manuela Giuliano, who sadly was subbed off right at the half. Another ITC favorite, Valentina Giacinti, also subbed off a bit early, right around the 60th minute mark. Evelyn Viens, her and Javi on the other side, they had really good games.
Yeah.
I think once Giacinti and Giuliano went out, it was going to be tough, but I think Giacinti was sort of attracting so much attention that it kind of gave Viens and Javi a chance to cause some trouble up the left and right hand side. Not enough, though, to keep Roma alive. Great run for them, though. Got to be tough. 32 minutes in, they were sitting in one of those knockout stage spots, but the last hour of the group stage just didn't break their way. So we'll keep an eye on them as they progress with regard to their season in Serie A Femminile. Shout out to them. Very much enjoyed watching them.
One of the highlights of the tournament, I think. This is another one that I felt like you identified early. Giuliano to Giacinti, great stuff. Through 6 matches, had some rough spots in there against PSG, but it's one of those pleasant surprises. Right? We talk about it all the time. We're picking up information as we come along. We're finding new players. We're finding new squads. And this Roma side is one of the highlights there for me. Looking forward to watching them play domestically and then hopefully seeing them back in the Champions League because, like you mentioned, it's not just the Giuliano and Giacinti show. They got a lot of good players on that side.
100%.